Sometimes, the most innocent lives suffer in silence, trapped by those who should protect them. Today, I'm going to share a true story that shook an entire nation. After hearing this, you might be left speechless. This is a story of heartbreak, courage, and the fight for justice that could stay in your heart forever. Get ready to dive into the emotional story of my first client. At the beginning of the movie, we see a lawyer named Jiang. He arrives for a job interview, but unlike the other lawyers, Jiang is different. He is honest and thoughtful, someone who judges everything with sincerity. Because of this, he does not get the job. The story then moves to two children who lost their mother. The boy's name is Minju, and his older sister's name is Dabin. One day, Minju asks his sister, "What did our mother look like?" Dabin replies, "Her hair was very long." Minju then says, "But last time you said her hair was short." Dabin falls silent. She does not know what to say because neither of them can truly remember what their mother looked like. Although she is still very young, Dabin takes care of her little brother like a mother. She looks after all his needs by herself. Their father, however, had destroyed every photo of their mother, so the children could not even see her face again. When their father returns home, he tells Dabin to wake her brother for dinner. At the table, the father introduces a woman. He has married her, and her name is Jisuk. He tells the children, "From now on, she is your mother." At first, Jisuk treats the children kindly. After so many years, Minju and Dabin feel happy to finally have a mother figure. On the way back from school one day, Minju tells his sister, "Sister, do you see? God has listened to us and given us a mother." The children return home, joyful. In the beginning, Jisuk takes care of them well, but soon her true nature is revealed. Slowly, she becomes impatient and harsh. For the smallest mistakes, she would discipline the younger boy. Once, just because Minju dropped a small piece of food from the plate, Jisuk disciplined him severely. Meanwhile, Jiang, the honest lawyer, is shown again. His mother scolds him for not having a job. Pressured, Jiang takes a position at a children's protection center, a place that works to protect young ones from abuse. One day, Dabin arrived at the center to file a complaint against her stepmother, who had been unkind to her. Dabin sits quietly in a corner. A woman from the center tries to comfort her. She whispers, "Auntie, did I do something wrong by complaining about my mother? When I go home, will she be mean to me again?" She repeats the same question to Jiang, who tells her gently, "You did the right thing. If I were in your place, I would have done the same." Later, Jiang and the woman from the center go with Dabin to her home. But Jisuk, being a clever lawyer herself, knows how to act. She pretends to be innocent and caring in front of them, so Jiang and the woman leave, convinced. As soon as they are gone, Jisuk disciplines Dabin again. She makes her stand with her arms raised, and when that isn't enough, she takes her to another room and addresses her behavior firmly. Her little brother sits in the next room, covering his ears with his hands, unable to bear the sound of his sister's cries. He sits there waiting, wishing only for her sobs to stop. That night, Jisuk tells the father, "Why don't you send these children away?" But the father replies, "Have you forgotten? Because of them, the government gives us benefits, and besides, their grandparents also send money for them." The next day, Dabin goes to meet the lady from the NGO. She wants to say something important. Just then, the woman receives a phone call and leaves in a hurry, without listening to Dabin. Disheartened, Dabin walks out quietly. Outside, her little brother Minju is waiting for her. He asks, "Why don't we go to that uncle? Maybe he will help us." At that time, Jiang is sitting in his office, playing a game on his computer. Soon, the two children arrive there. Jiang takes them out for a walk, and later, to a restaurant. They order burgers. Minju has never seen a burger before. This is the first time he gets to taste one. His sister shows him how to eat it. Then Dabin asks Jiang softly, "Uncle, what are mothers like?" Jiang had no answer. From the next day, Dabin and Minju begin visiting Jiang's office regularly. They spend hours there, making small requests, talking, and playing. At times, Jiang feels a little annoyed by their constant presence, but still, he takes them out on walks. One day, Minju insists that they go to the zoo. Jiang refuses at first, but the little boy does not give up. Finally, Jiang agrees and takes them to the zoo, running after them as they wander about. He grows tired and irritated. Jiang even begins to feel he doesn't want this job anymore. As usual, one day Jiang takes the children out, but he suddenly gets a phone call. He has to leave for Seoul immediately. In a rush, he drops Dabin and Minju back at their house. But Minju doesn't want him to go. Tomorrow is burger day, and the boy wants to eat burgers with him. To calm him, Jiang takes out some money from his pocket and says, "Here, buy burgers tomorrow." But Minju still refuses, so Jiang gives him a doll from his car. The boy lights up with joy. Before leaving, Dabin asks Jiang for his phone number. Zhang hands her a visiting card. Then he leaves. Zhang has actually gone to Seoul for a job interview. He gets the job and he is overjoyed. This is what he had been wishing for. Meanwhile, the two children stand in front of the burger shop the next day. They have money in their hands, but they do not go inside. They want to eat burgers only with that uncle. Zhang passes by the street, talking on the phone with a friend. From a distance, he sees Dabin and Minju standing there, but he ignores them and walks away, thinking, I have no responsibility toward them anymore. I have left the center. The children, with their little hearts heavy, return home without eating. But there, their stepmother is waiting. As soon as they enter, she shows Dabin the visiting card of Jiang and says coldly, So, you've been going behind my back against me? Dabin's eyes fill with fear. She knows what is about to happen. That night, Jisuk disciplines Dabin strictly. Her screams echo through the house. Finally, Jisuk leaves her in the bathroom. The next day, though weak and in pain, Dabin still goes to school, but her body cannot bear it anymore. In the middle of class, she collapses from her chair onto the floor. Meanwhile, Zhang has arrived in Seoul. He is looking at his new apartment when he receives a phone call. It is from a teacher at Dabin's school. The teacher tells him that Dabin has suddenly become very ill. She is only asking for him and requesting that he come. Zhang replies that he is in Seoul for work and is very busy, so he cannot come. But in the next scene, Zhang is seen arriving at the hospital to see Dabin. She is asleep, but when she opens her eyes and sees Zhang, she is overjoyed. She says, Uncle, you came. I am so happy. You are such a good person. Zhang asks, How do you know I am a good person? Dabin replies, Because when no one else listened to us or valued our words, you did. I know my brother and I have troubled you a lot, but you never got angry even once. Uncle, may I say something? If children like us are born into this world by mistake, is it our fault? My father always says I was born by mistake. He never wanted me to be born. But does that mean I have to suffer in this world? Dabin then pleads, Uncle, please take me and my brother to a faraway orphanage. We will be safe there. But Zhang explains that he is leaving the city, and this leaves Dabin completely silent. Zhang is unsure of what to do next. The next day, Zhang visits Dabin's stepmother. However, she humiliates him and forces him to leave. There are no complaints against her at this point, so she feels untouchable. Zhang then meets Dabin's father, who also treats him poorly, saying, I can handle my children's matters myself. After this, Zhang returns to Seoul to continue his work. Meanwhile, Dabin becomes very quiet. She remains in a constant state of fear. Several times she calls Zhang from a classmate's phone, but he is too busy to answer. Feeling hopeless, Dabin returns home. That night, the two children lie in bed. Minju keeps asking his sister, Sister, when will uncle come? Dabin says that he will never come, but Minju refuses to believe it. He takes out the money Zhang had given him and says, Uncle promised me that he would come and eat burgers with me. He will definitely come. Suddenly, their stepmother opens the door. Seeing the money in Minju's hand, she shouts, You stole money from my bag. How dare you? Minju explains, This was given to me by an uncle to buy burgers. But she starts disciplining him strictly. The young boy sobs in the corner. Then she calls for Dabin. Nervously, Dabin steps down. Their stepmother asks, Your brother stole money. What should you do? Even knowing the truth, Dabin says, I should teach him a lesson. The stepmother responds, Then go ahead. Dabin, protective of her little brother, gently hits him on the cheek, as softly as possible, then hugs him and says, I'm sorry, brother. You have suffered so much. From behind, the stepmother yells, accusing them of pretending. She becomes even more unkind toward the little boy. The children's cries fill the air, and there is no one to help them. Finally, the screaming stops. Dabin quietly steps out. Their stepmother's cruelty goes so far that it costs the little brother his life. In Dabin's hand are the torn pieces of the money. A gentle breeze came and carried the torn pieces of money away. The next day, Dabin's teacher calls Zhang and explains the whole situation. Zhang immediately rushes to the hospital. The little boy now rests in silence. Zhang realizes the painful truth: the child's fate was sealed by the money he gave. He becomes frantic, thinking that if he had not given the money, the child might still be alive. Zhang feels an overwhelming sense of guilt. Meanwhile, Dabin's stepmother is manipulating Dabin. She tells her, if you don't want to meet the same fate as your little brother, you must do exactly as I say. She accuses Dabin of being the reason her brother was harmed. Since the stepmother is a lawyer, she cleverly twists the situation and frames Dabin. In front of everyone, she declares that Dabin is responsible. The next day, the authorities take Dabin from her home. The little girl has lost her beloved brother and now carries the weight of the tragedy on her shoulders. A large crowd gathers outside, condemning her. She is innocent, but forced by circumstances to endure this injustice. Zhang tries repeatedly to meet Dabin, but the police do not allow it. He shouts and pleads, But Da Bin keeps her head lowered, showing her sorrow and frustration. The news spreads across the country. This 2013 case caused a massive uproar in South Korea. Jung tries to speak with a police officer, requesting that something be done. The officer tells him that Da Bin has been sent home, which is in accordance with Korean law. Because of her age, she will need to attend court hearings occasionally. Jung insists that something must be done, but the officer says there is nothing more to be done, since Da Bin has confessed herself. He also asks Jung, "You are a lawyer. Why aren't you taking action?" Meanwhile, Da Bin sits by her window, filled with sorrow and the burden of being accused. She looks at her brother's empty bed and feels his presence, as if he is saying, "Sister, don't grieve. I am in heaven with our mother. You told me we would find our mother there." Tears stream down Da Bin's face as she clutches her brother's toy and cries silently. The next morning, Da Bin's stepmother throws out all of the little boy's belongings, including his toy. Meanwhile, Jeong tells his boss that he wants to help Da Bin no matter the cost. His boss responds, "Some children are simply born unlucky. Stop worrying about them and focus on your work." Jung pauses for a moment and then says, "I am quitting my job. This unlucky child needs me." Jung goes straight to Da Bin, but she says nothing and remains completely silent, her eyes full of tears. Seeing this, Jung breaks down inside. He sits by the roadside, crying and shouting. He then goes to a senior lawyer, pleading, "Please help me. I feel responsible for this terrible event too." From that day on, Jeong works tirelessly to ensure Da Bin receives justice. He gathers evidence and collects public signatures. Finally, he takes the evidence to the local police station and requests the case be reopened. The investigation begins again. The doctors testify that a 10-year-old child could not have committed this. A legal notice is sent to Da Bin's mother, which makes her stepmother treat her even more harshly. The stepmother pressures Da Bin to write a statement taking the blame, while she avoids any responsibility herself. Meanwhile, Jung sends gifts to Da Bin every day. One day, Da Bin opens the gifts and finds a tape recorder. Jung had recorded a message for her. She listens with headphones. In the recording, Jung says, "Da Bin, I know you are angry with me. I understand your pain. I will fight for your justice until my last breath. Never feel alone. Many of us are here with you, and the bridge where you, Junho, and I used to play, I am still waiting for you there." Hearing this, Da Bin rushes to leave. Her stepmother appears and sees the tape recorder in her hands. She begins disciplining Da Bin very strictly. A nearby child calls Jung, informing him that Da Bin needs help. Jung runs there frantically. He breaks down the door of the room where the stepmother is and enters. Seeing this, the stepmother screams at Jung. The nearby child, witnessing the scene, cries. Jung shouts at the woman, "Are you even human?" He lifts Da Bin onto his shoulder and carries her out of the house. The child who saw what happened also cries, worried for Da Bin. Jeong brought Da Bin to his home, but soon after, Da Bin's father arrived, yelling and behaving very harshly toward Jeong. The next day, the authorities took both the woman and Da Bin's father into custody and brought them to court. The judge asked Da Bin's stepmother if she had anything to say before the proceedings began. She started speaking, saying, "I have something to say. As a mother, I have failed. I could not give my children a proper upbringing." She acted with complete skill, putting on a convincing performance. Meanwhile, Da Bin was so mentally distressed that she was terrified to testify. The next day, Jung learned that the toy in his car could record video. Upon hearing this, he became frantic, searching for it from morning till night but could not find it. He grew very disappointed. The following day, a neighbor child appeared holding the toy. The court resumed and Da Bin was ready to testify. The opposing lawyer tried to intimidate her with many questions. Da Bin began to cry. That day, the court session ended, but the next day, Da Bin was brought back again. She sat quietly, and Jeong asked the judge for permission to speak with her in front of everyone. The judge allowed it. Jeong handed the doll to Da Bin. Seeing her little brother's toy, Da Bin hugged it and cried. Jeong tried to speak to her and Da Bin said, "I asked for so much help, but no one listened. Yes, I followed my stepmother's orders and had to slap my brother. I saw him being hurt right in front of my eyes." Jeong stood up and addressed the judge. This young girl had no choice but to live under the same roof as the person who harmed her brother. She had no choice but to take the blame for what happened to her brother. The judge then asked Da Bin directly, "Tell us yourself, who hurt your brother?" Da Bin remained silent. Jeong put a hand on her shoulder and said, "If you're scared, you don't have to speak yet." Then Da Bin slowly whispered, "It was my mother. She hurt my brother." The courtroom let out a sigh of relief. The opposing lawyer argued that Da Bin's words alone were not proof, as no evidence existed. Da Bin's lawyer then presented the video from the toy's hidden camera and requested permission to play it in court. It was granted. The footage showed the day Min-ju passed away. It captured the stepmother's mistreatment. Everyone in the courtroom was stunned, and tears streamed from their eyes. Before the incident, Min-ju had told Da Bin Sister, I'm so sorry. I don't think I'll ever see a picture of our mother. I may never know what she looked like. Everything is turning dark before my eyes. These were his last words. Everyone in the courtroom wept. The court sentenced the stepmother to 16 years in prison and her husband to 5 years. A few days later, Jiang showed Dabin a picture of her real mother. A paper plane floated by, and Dabin felt as if Minju was beside her, whispering, "Sister, I know now what mother looks like. I am with her too." This story ends here, but it leaves a message. Love the little ones in your home even more. Listen to what they are trying to say, and spend more time with them. That's all for today.